Hi guys, it's Riley, and today I will be making a video to discuss a few sociological questions. So first I want to talk about what ideologies are. Basically, ideologies are shared ideas about how human life should be organized, and I got this definition straight from the book. And this is important because everyone deals with ideologies centered around some institution in their life. So the 5 main social institutions are education, religion, family, government, and economy. And really, I participate in multiple institutions, just like everyone else. You aren't subjected to one or the other. And there are more than 5. Those are just the 5 main ones that I listed. And one, for example, would be education. And this institution focuses on teaching society, but specifically young children, academic knowledge and skills. So this would be when they are in their developmental stage. And the social institution of education has exposed me personally to the ideology that attending school from kindergarten through 12th grade is what is normal and expected. And another ideology I've been exposed to is that success is oftentimes only possible if you do graduate from high school and then go on to receive a higher education from a secondary institution, so like college. And then from there, you go to college, you graduate, you get a degree, you find a job. And a lot of the times this is probably true. You do get better jobs with better degrees, but that's not always what is right. And I got a lot of that information from the book as well. So next I want to talk about the 5 techniques of neutralization as well as examples for each of what a student might say to justify cheating in a college class. So the first is denial of responsibility. So this would mean the rule breaking was out of the rule breaker's control. And the basic the basic example for this would be to saying I never cheated, or it wasn't cheating, I was using my resources. This is one I've heard plenty of times. And the second technique of neutralization is denial of injury. So this would mean that it should be allowed because it doesn't actually harm anyone physically. And for an example, a student could say it's not like it hurt anyone. So it's like, it didn't hurt anyone, what's the big deal? Next, another technique is denial of a victim. So this means that any harm that does come is evident, like ultimately deserved. And for this, a student could say, they said it was okay to use their work, or they made it easy for me to cheat off of them. The 4th technique is condemnation of condemners, and this is the rejection of a critic's moral authority to judge the rule breaker. So an example of this would be saying, don't act like you never did this when you were my age, or you've done something like this before, or maybe even worse. And the last neutralization technique is to appeal to a higher loyalty. And this would be that rule breaking is justified in pursuit of a greater good. So for an example, you could say, I had to get a good grade to impress my parents so that they would be proud, or something like that. And these definitions are all from the book as well, written by Lisa Wade. Lastly, I want to discuss the Protestant work ethic and how it explains why Americans are squeamish about a safety net, or a social safety net. So the Protestant work ethic is the idea that one's character can and should be measured by one's dedication to paid work. So basically, those who are moral are good workers, and those who don't work are morally incorrect. And this explains why Americans are squeamish about a social safety net, because based on these ideas, they believe that poor people are lazy, untrustworthy, and greedy. So with that being said, those who are well off are hesitant to transfer money to those who are in poverty, and this is because they believe that it would be encouraging them to stay lazy rather than helping them. And this as well was from the book.